Hello there, welcome to Fulcrum of the Force. I'm Jim, this is my channel dedicated to everything Star Wars. And if this is your first visit to my channel, welcome. It's lovely to have you here. We're going to dive into this review. It's a lightsaber. It's from Padawan Outpost. And if you use the code Fulcrum, you will get 5% off your order over there. And that's lovely. But I've been wanting to check this lightsaber out for a little while. You've seen the thumbnail, you know what the score is. I'm just opening it up to have a nice look at it. This is... This is the Galen Marek, aka Starkiller from Force Unleashed, second lightsaber. If you've seen my review of the other, I've reviewed like the Starkiller like 3 times, but it's always been the same version. But this is the one from Force Unleashed 2. Now, what I will say before I start anything else is it's supposed to have 2 of these. He does dual wield with 2 of these, which is mad. I love it. How nice is this saber? I really, really like it. I really like it. It's so different to his first lightsaber. I think that's why I like it. Like, we've got a switch box here, which is, you know, very Anakin-y, and he did have a switch box on his first one. The pommel is very different. The button is not the button. The button is actually on the switch box. And this emitter is huge. But I love it. I'm a sucker for an angled emitter. I'm not going to lie. I really like how this looks. I love the brown wrap on this. I think it looks great. But if you don't want a brown wrap on this, it does actually come with a black wrap as well. That's a 3M one. So literally you just unpeel this and you can stick the black one on. Really easy. You just wrap it around all the way down. Obviously you take the brown one off. I'm just, for demonstration purposes, I can't do it very well. So that you can have this with, that's bad, Jim. It's really bad. With a black wrap on it as opposed to the brown wrap. I personally prefer the brown wrap. I think it just looks a little bit different and adds a different color element to this lightsaber. But let's just have a nice spin of that. Look how shiny it is. So for me, unlike his first lightsaber, Starkiller's first lightsaber, I think the second one should be shiny. I know I'm very odd, but I don't know what to tell you. Very nice. This is front heavy because of that big emitter. Like, you can feel it. You can feel it when you're holding it. But I quite like that. I can't explain it. I quite like that. I quite like how it sits in the hand and how, like, you need to hold it higher up to sort of balance it out. Now, I will say this is not conducive to spinning. I think the box gets in the way and the switch and the button gets in the way. I don't think there's anywhere super comfortable that you can hold it for spinning. But you know what? Not every saber has to be spun. Not every saber is built to swing around like a crazy person. Some sabers are built for that. This one is definitely built to look badass. And that's what it does. This, like all the ones recently, super easy core to slide out. Battery, charging port, SD card, kill switch, easy days. Slide it back in, slide the pommel. Like, I like how what they've done is you don't even have to slide it in. Like, sometimes when you have a removable chassis, you have to slide it back in a certain way. You don't have to with that at all.
Power on.
So the button is actually just here. We'll go ahead and put a blade in and see what this looks like with the blade in. And the color should be blue, just so you know. So here it is with my demo blade in. This is just a demo blade. It's a 16-inch blade that you can buy from Padawan Outpost. But when you buy the saber, you pick whether you want a 36, a 32, or a 28-inch blade. This is just for demo purposes. That was born to be blue. Like, I'm sorry, but it was. You can spin this a little, but you have to spin it quite far down. That looks nice in blue. What I have noticed is there's actually, in the bag of bits, I noticed there was this little sort of key, sort of screw key that's very Anakin, and you can just slide that in after you've tightened the blade in, and it just looks really, really nice. I'll show you it without the blade on, so you can actually see. So yeah, that just screws in after you've screwed the blade in to add that little bit more detail in there, and that's very nice.
New Horizon.
So this will be Rey. It's not built for that colour.
The Dark Sword. The Assassin.
Red. Yeah, okay, alright. Okay. This does look very good in red. I'll give you that. But this is Force Unleashed 2, where Galen is very, very much gone to the light side.
The Knight.
Not Sithy anymore.
Wanderer.
Looks nice in purple. Like, the thing is, in the game as well, you can change the blade colours, so they kind of all work. Do you know, like,
The Protector.
blue for me works best, but they do all work, like, you, because
The
of
Dark
the game.
Empress. The Sun.
I like that in green. I like that in green. But yeah, like I say, because in the game you can change the blade colours, like, they all kind of work with this. But I will say that blue for me works the best with this lightsaber. I think it looks right. Now the big question is, how much do I like this? Because I love my Starkiller, and I've always been looking for a second Starkiller from Force Unleashed 2 because I like the look of this saber. Do I like it enough to add it to my collection? I think the answer is probably yes. I mean, most of the time you ask me that question, the answer is always going to be yes. There are a few exceptions, but this is that nice that I'm like, I would really like to put this up next to the other Starkiller. That's what I've found recently with a lot of my collection. I'm starting to pair off lightsabers, like Luke and Kenobi go together very, very nicely. Kanan and Ezra, Starkiller would be very cool, I think. Yeah. Even you could even go Starkiller Anakin, because the hilt is the original Starkiller, that is, because the hilt is made from parts of that saber in theory. But yeah, I like this. I think it would look cool. Is there a need for two of them because he does dual wield? I don't think so. I don't think it's one of those where it's not like Ahsoka Tano where each saber is different. Both the sabers are the same. So I think one is more than enough. And it's very, very nice. Very cool. Very cool. Let me know what you think of the saber. Let me know what you think of the game. A lot of people didn't like the second Force Unleashed games. Too short, they say. And I do agree with that. It was too short. But then I would play games like that forever because I think they're amazing. That's it for this video. We've done the subscribe thing. So that's about all we need to say. So until next time, don't forget, we are one with the Force, and the Force is with us.